Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have a Pokal tie against Kiel in our first match, and we followed it up with a game at home against Wolfsburg. In terms of form since you were last with us, you'll have to bear with me. I'm trying to catch up a little bit myself. I've just been away for 2 weeks, catching up with family in Manchester. So I've just come back and I'm trying to figure out exactly where I'm up to here. and just see where we were at. I think so. Yeah. So since you were last with us, we had a good win last time out, of course, against Braunschweig. But we suffered that defeat against Hertha Berlin. After that, we got absolutely slaughtered by Mönchengladbach. Now, after that, we had a huge break for the international period, and we managed to get 3 friendlies in. We played teams that weren't much good, but something that we did do is change to a back five. Now, I'm not particularly keen on doing a back five, but some of our strongest players in this squad are the defensive players. So, in my mind, we've got to make the most of the players that we have, and we've got to try and make things fit. We're not a strong team in the Bundesliga. We have to try and grind out some of these results. So we went to the five at the back, practiced it in a few friendlies against teams of not particularly good quality, scored plenty of goals in them games, built confidence a little bit as well. And that then followed up with some league games. Now we drew 3-3 against Bayer Leverkusen. It was a really good result considering the circumstances and considering that we'd only won one in our opening 6 Bundesliga games. Excuse me. We followed it up with a 1-0 win against Freiburg. And again, defensively, we were very, very strong. Senad Saric in the end with the goal. He took it really well, I might add. And this is where it could end up being a little bit dicey. We played Bochum. It's a side that we are capable, I think, of doing well against. We lost 1-0. Now, of course, having the back five means we are sacrificing a little bit in the attacking areas of the pitch. And we just couldn't really get into the game, unfortunately. And it finished 1-0. I'll just double check the stats. So we ended up with the same number of shots on target as Bochum, in all honesty. Um, we had less shots overall, but it was a pretty even game, possession-wise as well, really close. But there you can see the formation that we've gone to with the back five, with Kobold, Kwanzaa and Velukovic in that solid defensive three, with Saric playing just ahead of them. So we've got 4 centre-backs on the pitch, basically, with the wing-backs. And I think, to be honest, it's a decent setup for us. It'll be interesting to see how we get on in today's games. Obviously, this game against Kiel is very much winnable, but obviously I have been away from it for a little while, so I'm not entirely sure how exactly we're going to do. But we'll just see how things develop for us and hope for the best. We have got a couple of injuries. Max Weiss is still out, unfortunately. He could be back soon, though. He's only got a slight injury now. Burnich is out long term. He's out for another month or so. We are rotating a little bit for this game against Kiel. So we'll see how we get on. I'm not too bothered about the Pokal, if I'm being truthful. Our main focus this year is surviving in the Bundesliga. So we've gone for the strong defensive setup with Alavoin in goal, Velukovic, Kwanzaa and Kobold in the central defence. Hugo and Jimenez are the wing-backs today. We're going to give Vale a chance in that holding midfield role. Leonard Vale, he's worked really hard in training. He deserves his opportunity. I'm going to give an opportunity to Joe Hodge and Musa Yeo as the Mazzalas. We're going for 2 Mazzalas because it means that they'll cover the wider areas of the pitch as well. So Yeo and Hodge will probably cover these areas. They'll be in behind the attacking midfielder probably, but they will still come out and try and fill the void out wide. And we've got Luca Oyen in behind Kelly, who has struggled for form, but hopefully he can get off to a good start today. Overall, so far so good. We sat just outside the relegation zone, following the results against Leverkusen and Freiburg, of course. That really did give us that bit of a boost. and it's meant, like I say, that we sat just outside the relegation zone on goal difference over Mainz at the moment. So I'm hoping we can get a decent result against Kiel, just for the form perspective. But like I say, where the Pokal is concerned, I'm not massively fussed. I'd be quite happy if we got knocked out of this competition to give us that extra bit of focus when it comes to the league. Um, I think it'll be a close game, nonetheless. I think we have the necessary quality to beat them, but we have rotated quite substantially, and some of these younger players should hopefully give them a good account of themselves with this opportunity. And Oyen plays it out wide to Hodge, and that's played inside. And I'm not too sure who it was in the centre of the box there, but they couldn't find the finish. And Velukovic plays it into Kwanzaa. Very solid defensive setup that we have. Hodge plays it into Jimenez, and that is a really good finish from Alex Jimenez. He's not had too many opportunities so far, but that is a really good finish for his first goal of the season. And we worked it really well. And again, Hodge just coming that little bit wider, just covering the lateral areas of the pitch where there was a little bit of space. And he found Jimenez, who made a really good run there. We were asking the wing backs to push on a little bit. We have only got them on a support mentality, though, so they won't take too many risks. Because we, like I say, when it comes to the league, we need that solid defensive shape, especially against some of the teams that we're playing. It is going to be extremely tough going forward, I think. But hopefully, we will do quite well and start to pick up some extra results. We haven't been the better team today, but we have got the lead. Now, we're not exactly inviting pressure either in terms of our tactics. We've gone for a clean slate approach and a balanced mentality, because if we go for a positive mentality, we are going to get caught out. There's no doubt about it. If we keep things balanced, it means that defenders will do the defensive things, midfielders will do the midfield things, and the attacker will hopefully do the attacking things. That is a lovely finish, by the way. Mustafa Oysal with a lovely curled effort into the top corner there for Kiel. It has been coming, to be fair. Like I say, they have been the better side today. We have rotated quite a bit, in all honesty. And of course, we have got quite a young side. Jimenez, certainly our man of the match performer so far. We are struggling for fitness with one or two players, and we will make some changes here. We'll take Luka Oyen off, and I think we'll bring Arnaud on in there. We'll get Diakite on as well for Valle. And do we have a right back? We do not have a right back, of course we don't. Why would we do that? We don't actually. I mean, Mohamed Bayer could come on, I think, actually, there. And we'll put Kwanzaa to that wing back role. Bayer can go into central defence. And again, because we're not massively fussed about the competition, it gives us an opportunity here just to give some of the backup players a chance for a run out. Pavel Maras, by the way, I've been really impressed with him so far. He's doing everything that we're asking of him, and he plays really well in doing it as well. We're going to get Asensio on as well up front, just for these last 20 minutes. And we'll demand a little bit more from the team. And hopefully we can pick up another opportunity. Alavoine diving for that, but the chance wasn't particularly close to going in. But having these youngsters, working them into the team again, it can only help the club for the future. Of course, if we get relegated, which there's every opportunity that we might, of course, we need to be very clear. This is not a season where we're going to be fighting it out to be mid-table, challenging for a European place. We are fighting for relegation. There's no doubt about it. And yeah, we've really got to work very, very hard this season. Heidenheim are 2-0 with Hertha Berlin, in fact, which is a big result for them as it stands in the cup. Kiel have been by far the better side here. Again, we're going to demand a little bit more from the team because we haven't been at our best. Makaji into Sterner. That's a lot of space in the penalty area there. Plays it back to Makaji, and there is the goal. They worked it superbly, but that is very poor from our point of view. And again, defensively, we are at our strongest with all of the players in there. Yes, we've taken a few players out and moved some players around. We've put a lot of youngsters in today. But we've certainly not been at our best today. And again, like I say, it's disappointing to lose any game, but we have bigger things to think about. This is, oh my word, jeepers. Asensio, he was actually offside, but what an effort that was. The overhead kick off the woodwork. And that's probably woke a few fans up. I mean, we've gotten beat here today, deservedly so. Kiel by far the better team. And our focus is solely on the league now this season. And like I say, I'm not too sure how we're going to go. We did get some decent results. We are training other tactics as well. Leonard Val has actually picked up a knock, so he will be out for a few weeks. I'm sure I've set up. Oh, so I've actually only set up the one tactic. I think for us this season, it's purely going to be damage limitations. We can still score goals, and we can score good goals at that, but we have got to really push with every single game this season. We've got Wolfsburg coming up, so just bear with me while I get through the in-betweeny bits. We'll come back and hopefully we can continue our survival in the Bundesliga and try and stay out of that relegation zone. The longer we can do it, the better, but we need to get points on the board. So bear with me and hopefully we can get some today. Okay then everyone, here we go. We're at home against Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg currently sat in 6th place. They've had a really strong start to the season with 17 points from their 9 matches so far. As suspected, the usual front runners, Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Leipzig, a few points behind them. So that mid pack is quite highly compacted at the minute. As you can see by the bottom of the table, it's just above my head. I hope you can see it. We're sat in 15th place. Same number of points as Mainz and Hoffenheim, but we're on a better goal difference than the two. So despite the big defeats that we had against Hertha Berlin and Borussia Mönchengladbach, we are looking pretty good defensively in terms of the goal difference, like I say. Obviously, the 5-1 win that we had against Braunschweig certainly helped as well. I expect a defeat from pretty much every game this season. If we can get anything in the meantime, it would be phenomenal. But let's see how we get on. We're making a number of changes to the starting lineup as well. Alavoin in goal. Hugo and Jimenez remain the wing backs, with Kobold, Kwanzaa and Velukovic in the 3 central defensive positions. Saric returns into that holding role in midfield, with Van Itsek and Carey as the Mazzalas, with Oyen in behind Beerith. Oyen's had a bit of a resurgence recently. We do have better players in that position, such as Asensio. He's, in my mind, a better player in that position. But Luca Oyen just continues to keep playing, and he's been quite dangerous a lot of the time. He's a decent finisher, and he is improving his game as well, the young Belgian. So we've got the options on the bench, and we can rotate. Morale dwindling at best. Let's be honest. Kwanzaa's struggling a little bit for fitness, but again, we don't really have extra defensive options short of playing our youngsters. So we've got to be a little bit careful. I mean, Saric can play at centre-back rather than that midfield place, and we have got players that can come into the midfield. So we'll see how things go, but I think we're going to be in for a very tough afternoon here against Wolfsburg. And I reiterate again, we're favourites to go down. If we can get any points on the board, then we will just endeavour to do so. And whatever points we do get, we will certainly take them, that is for sure. Let's see if we can go up there and cause an upset. Defensive resilience is what we're now basing our games on. And if we only lose games by the odd goal, I will feel comfortable knowing that we can pick up points here and there. And if we can get a good goal difference, I honestly think that will help us. It's just a case of getting enough points on the board. Here is Saric. That's a lovely switch of play. Jimenez couldn't quite get onto it as Velukovic finds him now. Down this right-hand side, plays it into Carry. That's a nice pass into Luka Oyen, and it's a good save, but Oyen unfortunately was offside. We did well to break the defensive line, though. Good movement and a good passage of play from us. And again, we're showing good signs at times as well. We really are playing very well. And when we've got our strong midfield together, Vanitsek I expected to sell over the summer. It has to be said, but he's such a key player for us. He really is such a strong competitor in that midfield for us. Despite his age, he continues to outperform some of our younger players who are better players overall, in my opinion. But we've just got to knuckle down and try and do what we can. And that ball's played in, and Jonas Vind fell over there. I mean, in terms of the actual way the game portrayed it, it was quite poor, but the penalty's been given. And again, we've not had a lot of luck in this manner either. Vind, with the penalty, fires it into the bottom corner. Alavoin guessed the wrong way anyway. But again, we've had a little bit of unlucky in the start of the season. And yes, we deserve to be behind, judging by the number of chances, but the fact that we're behind because of a soft penalty is a little harsh. And we'll just fire the boys up a little bit. We're more than capable of getting back into this game, and I hope that we just show a little bit more. And again, we will demand a little bit more from the side. And I am going to make some substitutions. Luke Orion's not really been in the game today. Asensio is going to come on for him. And I think, to be honest, I mean, I'm looking at that midfield. I mean, Saric is actually having a good game. He's probably one of the better performers, but he isn't a playmaker, in my opinion. His passing ability isn't the best. So I think, to be honest, we will bring him off. We need a really good passer of the ball in that playmaker role, don't we? I think we'll move Eamon Carey back into that playmaker role, and we'll get Joe Hodge to come on in that midfield. I think that's more than fair. I mean, Kate Gordon we've got is an option. We've also got Kelly in there. But I think, to be honest, I mean, Hugo, he's struggling as well. He's motivated enough, but again, he's just struggling. He's not showing the kind of oomph that we need from our wing backs at the moment. They've had 5 times the amount of shots that we've had, but we only need one. We're going to fire the boys up a little bit, and we've doubled our number of chances now. But again, we're just lacking that necessary quality, I don't think. And unfortunately, we haven't got enough in the bank to do anything about it. And I just hope we can find something on the pitch just to give us that little bit extra. And I know we've gone defensive and it is going to be harder to score goals. But if we try and go out and score the goals, we're going to be leaving ourselves wide open. And that could go against us as well. It's very, very difficult to find that balance. Here is Vimmer with the delivery into the penalty area and Lacroix with the header over the crossbar. And they're just stamping their authority here at the end of the match. But considering the circumstances, a 1-0 defeat isn't bad. Yes, we've had poor performances on the pitch, but I'll take a 1-0 defeat, and we're unfortunate that it was a penalty. So, is this process going to work? I don't know. I doubt it will, but would any process work? Again, I'm not really sure. We haven't got the capability to compete at this level, in all honesty. We were favourites for mid-table last season, remember, in Bundesliga 2. The fact that we nearly won the league is a huge overachievement in itself. We have dropped into that bottom zone of the Bundesliga. In terms of tomorrow's episode, I'm not too sure when we're going to come back. I mean, there's a lot of big games to play. I I won't show Dortmund and Bayern because it'll be an absolute massacre, to be quite honest. Um, previous three results don't really look good after changing the system, do they? We might have to go back to the 4-3-3 just because it's what we're used to. But I think, to be quite honest, we'll probably get a lot of games done and out of the way, but we'll see. I mean, obviously, we've got the January transfer window here. In terms of actual budget, we've got a little bit of money. We've got £1.5 million plus a little bit of spare wage budget. I can't imagine anything happening, to be honest. It's been very difficult to get the right kind of players to come in. But in terms of the quality of the squad, we can improve in most areas. It's just finding it at a good price, and I don't think we're going to be able to. So I think, to be fair, we're going to get through probably November and December. We'll come back at the start of the January transfer window. Leipzig's going to be a horrible game, but Hoffenheim, who have just beaten Braunschweig, in fact, but they're in and around the bottom part of the league with us. We'll have those two games, I think, at the start of January, and then we'll see how we shape up in the meantime. So until then, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.